This year, America is 247 years old. The nation declared independence from Great Britain on July 4th, 1776. Now imagine being alive for nearly half of that time, able to recall major milestones in history. A Palm Harbor woman doesn't have to. I sat down with her to hear some memorable moments in her life.
In this typical suburban home lives a remarkable woman.
My name is Lorraine King, and I just turned 107 years old.
These days, needlepoint occupies her time.
I finished that one about 6 months ago.
Miss King is quite the creator. That may be one secret to her longevity.
This is my therapy. What would I do? Sit here and die? As long as I'm creating something, I have to live to finish it.
She also has a few ounces of a very specific wine each night.
Sherry Chiaffa.
She's been drinking it for at least 50 years. When you sit down with Miss King, the stories seem endless. But if you asked the doctor who delivered her in July of 1917, his optimism for Miss King's survival was pretty grim.
The doctor said, "Don't bother to name her. She won't live 2 days." Because he had a murmur. I still have a murmur every time the doctor checks it. So you can live with a murmur.
You can climb mountains too. She ventured 5 in her lifetime, once getting lost on Mount Washington when she was in high school, trekking through the night only to come out on the other side in a different city.
Oh, it was terrible.
In 1940, she and her husband took a trip to Washington, D.C. And while sightseeing, they ended up taking an underground train to the Capitol building. They paid visit to the New Hampshire office where she's from and got free tickets to the White House. The next day,
I get to the White House, I open the door. There's no guards, no policemen, there's no gate. It's all open.
Miss King says she never did get a glance of the president at the time, Franklin D. Roosevelt, but then again, she doesn't recall seeing anyone.
Well, it was very neat, but I didn't see anybody.
A few years later, King would become one of the first Americans to own a television.
It was in a frame and it was round, and there was a lot of snow, and it wasn't always clear.
She's upgraded over the years. A flat-screen TV now sits in the back room of her house. She does not have a cell phone, though. She had one for a short while, but says she never used it. Prefers the landline. Maybe she's onto something. One thing's for sure, Miss King is up by 6, in bed by 8. Routine is a part of her incredible life. So what does she think about being alive nearly half as long as America?
I think that's amazing.
We do too, Miss King. Happy birthday.